And bearing in mind, I was 6 months into the job, and I looked up and I saw he'd put his face cut in, and he was just getting into position for his back cut, and I saw him about to do this exact same thing, but with basically like half the tree. Like, he was taking the top out of the tree, not half the tree, maybe, I don't know, it was a big top, but maybe a third of the tree. And I ran into his line of sight on the ground and like waving my arms like this, going, "Jeremy, Jez, Jez!" And I just kept screaming until he turned his saw over. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "You're tied in." So yeah, that's why this one hits home, because I could have seen this happen within 6 months of me being in the job.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to climbingarborist.com. My name is Dan Holliday, and in this video I'm going to show you a recent video that surfaced on Facebook of a tree work incident. This video is of a climber who is tied into a piece that he then cuts out, and I want to go through it, explain what's going on, how this has happened, obviously the consequences of such a thing happening, and then help like spread awareness, keep these things at like top of mind for every tree crew, so you can all share this video around and show each other and talk about how easily these things can happen, like a lapse in concentration, whether employees have got baggage from home that they're bringing into work and their mind's not in the game, they're not concentrating. These things are just so important to keep talking about, and especially when a video like this one comes up, it's a really good one to all gather around and just talk about it, watch it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll watch the video a couple of times first, and then I'll pause it through and kind of explain as we go along. So it's only a short video. So as you can see, it's not a great outcome. So the climber here has got his steel core flip line on. He's got a stationary rope system still tied into the piece that we can't actually see how big it is, because as it comes around it's still off screen. So I think it's at least 6 foot, could be a little more. So he's left his climbing system in while he makes the face cut, which on something so skinny, this is probably about 16 inches in diameter, on something so straightforward, straight up and down, where positioning is not really an issue. It's not like an awkward trunk to get position on. And yeah, I'm not sure why he would have ever left his climbing system in, because it doesn't look like a trunk that would be uncomfortable to make that face cut on. And his face cut is gone in looks like about 65-70% of the way through. Now the reason he's done that is to take the face cut over the center of mass, so that once he puts the back cut in, he doesn't have to push the lump of wood. It will just go under its own weight. So that's that's a good technique for straight up and down stems, pieces of wood. But the thing is, he's gone really far through on his face cut, and he's still tied in. So the only holding wood left is, I don't know, maybe like 30%, which is not a huge amount. Fair enough, he probably doesn't have like his full weight in his stationary rope system. He's got some of his weight on his lanyard, but it's just a strange thing all around to stay roped in on something so skinny and straight up and down. And obviously, the climber, he was tied in, and he was able to push the lump of wood over the center of mass, so that once he puts the back cut in, he doesn't have to push the lump of wood. It will just go under its own weight. So that's even if you know that you're doing that, and you know that you're gonna take your system out afterwards, it's so easy to just have that lapse of concentration, which obviously is what happened here. He just was so in the zone to like, oh, I've done my face cut, but he doesn't even pause after he comes out of the face cut. He goes straight into the back cut. No pause, no check. It doesn't even check like the ground to make sure the ground's clear. No call to the grounds person to be like, yeah, we're good to go, I'm dropping this piece. Because in that moment, even if you as the climber still haven't realized that you need to take your climbing system out, that would give the grounds person a chance to look up, say, yeah, I'll clear. Oh, you're still tied in. Because you hear, just as the piece starts to go, you hear somebody shout, like, as if somebody has just realized, but at that point the piece is already like at a 45-degree angle. So yeah, you just need to take that second to give yourself that bit of time to just do a check and a double check, but also then give your grounds person a shout to make sure they're clear, make sure the ground's clear, but that gives them a split second to like almost give you a check as well. The reason why this video in particular is so close, it hits close to home for me, is because when I was about 6 months into the job, the climber that I was working with at the time, it was just me and him. He was about 40 years old, Jeremy he was called, and I've told this story before, I think on my podcast, but he was about to take out a big top of, might have been an oak tree, and bearing in mind, I was 6 months into the job, and I looked up and I saw he'd put his face cut in, and he was just getting into position for his back cut, and I saw him about to do this exact same thing, but with basically like half the tree. Like he was taking the top out of the tree, not half the tree, maybe, I don't know, it was a big top, but maybe a third of the tree. And I ran into his line of sight on the ground and like waving my arms like this, going, Jeremy, Jez. And I just kept screaming until he turned his saw off. He's like, what? And I was like, you're tied in. So yeah, that's why this one hits home, because I could have seen this happen within 6 months of me being in the job. So please, everybody who watches this, everybody just show this video to your colleagues, to your company. Get your company to show it around. This is so important, because this can happen. This will happen again to people. So the more this gets shared, the more we can prevent these kind of accidents from happening. The more we realize we just need to take those few seconds to check ourselves. Need to take those few seconds to, as a grounds person, check your climber. As a grounds person, don't just be that person that is just focused on their work and is just like tunnel vision, or must move these branches. Like the whole crew needs to work seamlessly, but the crew needs to watch out for one another, because ultimately you almost need to be responsible for each other and keep each other safe. People can come into work with baggage from home. People can come into work with like stress, family stresses, health problems, worries, money worries, all this kind of stuff. And it's up to us and your crew just to like keep everybody in the game, keep everybody safe, recognize when somebody's like making mistake after mistake after mistake, and there's obviously something wrong. Maybe that's when you switch out. But imagine if this is your work colleague, and how you would feel seeing this, being there in person to see this happen, how that person's family is going to feel, how that person is going to be affected health-wise. Are they going to come back to tree climbing ever again? Are they going to be off work for a year? How are they going to support their family financially? Do they have children? Who's going to look after them? Like, do they have support? Do they live on their own? Are they, like, you know, there's so many questions. Luckily, I read on the guy's Facebook comments that, so this was actually an incident that happened like 2 years previous, but he just posted it, and the guy in his Facebook comments said that he was actually okay after this. I don't think there was like any major injuries, which is incredible. I don't know how far off the ground he is, and I don't know how much that piece weighed, but it's incredible that he came away from that unscathed. And but he might have some like trauma from it. Yeah, so please, everybody, keep safe. Discuss these kind of things with your colleagues, with your work crew. If you're a tree company owner, share this in a safety meeting. Yeah, I hope this helps. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next time.